Okay, do you guys want to start?
Yeah, sorry.
Hold on. Speaking of genitals, my mother cannot spell the word gentle. So every time she puts genital, and I find it hilarious. Well, like she posted something about her mother one day when it was her mom's birthday, and her mom's passed. And she talked about her mom's genital hands and how she used to make biscuits when they were kids. Yeah, I got like the strangest bit of amusement out of that, and I couldn't bring myself to correct her.
Did you just say
abusement?
Abusement.
Which is the same.
Yeah,
no,
pretty
really,
much.
you abused yourself with the thought.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's so great.
That sounds like a bit.
Yeah, it did.
She's also called me a genital giant.
Hell, she saw you from the get-go.
Which is horrible that my mom would say that.
Hey, everybody. I'm Dane Holland, and I'm all about the games.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I'm of another world.
Don't whisper.
I told you what it is. I'm of another world. I'm of another world.
I'm Marcus Whitaker, an artificial semi-intelligence, also known as I Am Electric Man.
I'm Austin Tiny Zent. I am the destroyer of worlds and a co-host of a podcast of four best friends called Nerd Through the Grapevine that talks about past, present, and future nerd culture. Boom! Suck it, Dane!
He beat you.
Somebody
to
stole
it.
it right from me.
Stole it.
Well,
And I made you watch.
you heard it. I'm not going to say.
He looked
I
directly
smiled
into
the whole
his
time.
soul.
I smiled the whole time. That was good. Well, now you know what we are. I don't have to do that part, but I do have to do this part.
Gross.
Nobody
The lights are on, Marcus. You're right. We need to fix that.
but no one's home.
I want to talk about what's coming out in 2023.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so far in the future.
That's not very far from now at all.
That could be like 5 years from now in like 2021, 2020 time, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Not.
Time
A
feels
little.
time feels both smushed together from all the massive events, but it seems like it took forever to get through it.
Right.
That's what it. Hopefully, we don't experience that.
I hope not. No. In 2023, Nintendo will be coming out with the next Switch, and it'll be called the NintenDial, and it's going to be a phone because the Switch is basically a phone already without phone capabilities, and it's going to be a phone.
So,
It's going to be a phone.
see, my granny used to always make me pick the biggest Switch. So in this case,
This one's a little smaller.
okay.
It's not near as bad as...
How do you feel about it, though?
I'm not a big Switch person anyway, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't really know. I mean, it seems like a pretty good idea, but I don't know. They got a lot of competition. It's going to have to be a good phone.
And you said 2023?
Yes.
I'd say by that time, and this is just, mild predictions, we will have been doing this podcast long enough, and I will have mentioned Elon Musk enough that it will be able to get into my Neuralink.
So you think they're going to partner with Tesla?
It doesn't matter.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
No, why not?
I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see that coming. I could see where it makes sense to do that because a lot of their games, a lot of the hits that are on Switch, are very just kind of like mobile games.
Yeah.
Basically, I know the AAA stuff like Smash and Mario Odyssey and Zelda and stuff like that isn't really phone friendly. It's a little demanding, but if they can make it work on the Switch, why wouldn't they be able to make it something that can call people too?
Right, yeah.
I mean, because then you can actually have a good communication service, because with the Switch there is no chat. You don't chat with other people on it. You can connect on your phone. They have a phone app to where you can connect on there and be able to talk with the people that you're playing with. But the actual system itself doesn't. And that's actually been an issue that a lot of people have had with the Switch. It's there is no, it's made for people to play together. It's marketed that way for everybody to get together and play it. But as soon as you have distance from one another, for some reason, Nintendo just can't decide how that they're going to tackle online, which is something that's been around for forever. And they're the farthest back behind it. But I don't know. Maybe mobile changes that.
Hades would be very hard to play mobile.
Would it?
Yeah.
You played it handheld.
Uh-huh. I still don't lose,
Right.
but I don't win as easily.
Just because it's not giant on the screen.
You're very correct. Plus,
Yeah.
that controller is so comfortable that you've got.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That is the most comfortable controller I've ever used. It makes gameplay just...
The Switch?
Yeah. Yeah, the Switch Pro controller, which many episodes back, actually one of my topics was controllers. And now, after all this time of playing with that controller, hands down the most comfortable and the best one ever. I mean, controllers would still work for it, and you could probably still, there'll probably still be some kind of app to where you can sling it up onto the TV, like some kind of smart app. But so I'm thinking it can dock, but it doesn't do it. It does it digitally as opposed to physically.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this because it's like I love my Switch, and I think the Switch Lite, which is the one that I have, is like perfectly sized for moving around, playing games and stuff. And I do see the problems with chat, but I don't like being on my phone. All the games for Switch and phone, they're all like top downs and to the side ones, and they don't really have as immersive a catalog of games, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And it's like all the games seem dumbed down for the Switch.
It's like killing time games.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you got Pocket Men, Hades.
Pocket Man?
Yeah. With like
Pocket monsters.
little yellow dude that like electrifies stuff.
I actually thought there might have been a game called Pocket Man.
There might be.
That's what I call Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Pocket
Never mind.
Man.
Continue.
I don't like it. I'm just gonna. I don't like it.
What do you not like?
I don't
Hades
like. Well, no. There's nothing wrong with the games per se, but also I have giant hands. Okay, so putting those games on this little bitty device is going to make it very difficult for people like me that have abnormally sized hands.
Well, I mean, have you held like the newest iPhone Max or whatever they're called now? And
I don't touch those
the size,
because they burn my skin.
I knew that they were dipping the new cases in holy water before selling them to
Well,
consumers.
see, if it was holy water, I'd be okay.
Are you sure it's not what's on there?
Yeah.
Okay, they've
I've
been
smelt
cursed.
them. I've smelt them from a distance.
Okay.
Like
Now-
all science style where you wave your hand over top.
Right. What
Just to
does-
avoid cross-contamination.
I've
Yeah.
smelt them.
what is the difference between like the smell of holy water and say spring water?
Okay. Holy water, it smells like Jesus's beard sweat,
Okay.
which has an amazing scent of like leather and lilac and honeydew melons.
Right. With a little salty,
Yeah, little
little
salty,
tinge.
because pheromones.
little tinge.
Little,
right.
little tinge.
You know Jesus was oozing with pheromones, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Had to have been.
Drip and swag.
Had to have been. Because they all want you when you don't want them.
Right.
He didn't want anybody.
Yeah, he should have gave them to the rest of us.
So they were all
I
all
want my
coming
fair
after
share
him.
of pheromones.
I'm
Give
just
me,
saying.
give me
No.
some, Jesus.
He took them all.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
He died.
don't need 'em.
He died to save your sins.
He's
He didn't die to give you more pheromones.
Right.
Well,
He's also my
unfortunate.
co-pilot.
This is unfortunate.
Check yourself.
Just like the bumper sticker. He's my co-pilot.
That was derailed completely
Yeah.
off of what you were
What?
talking
What was
about.
our real
at all.
What
topic?
was that? What just happened?
I don't know. We fell down the wormhole
Did I
completely.
pass out?
Yeah, I think you did.
I think we got abducted.
My take on a
phone.
smaller Switch, though, would be it just depends on how easy it is to dock it with the television, because that's the most that I enjoy playing the Switch. So as long as it still has the capability of being attached to a large HD projection, and if I wanted to be moving around and playing the game, I could, that's fine. I would most of the time leave it as just a stay-put console.
I'm saying the size of the actual screen on the Switch isn't far off from the size of the biggest iPhone, which is what we were talking about earlier before the holy water incident.
And down we went.
And down we went there.
Or did we go up since it's holy? Feel
Let's
like
not
we
go
went
down
up.
that road.
Yeah. Or up that road.
Oh, man.
You can't.
I feel like there should be like an Aerosmith song playing in the back of this conversation just to make everybody real confused, like loving the elevator, loving it up while we're going down.
Aerosmith did Freebird and what else?
Free Ride.
Free Ride. Okay, thank you. So, NintenDial, I don't think it's going to be their flagship. I think it's going to be the in between of that and say it's Switch 2 or something like that. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited to have something I can just have it all in one device. So I've always got my Switch with me.
It'd be pretty neat. I don't know. I'd have
think
to
so.
see it.
And
I'd have to
there
look
might
at
be
it.
more things to it as well, like better apps and better accessibility to different, like higher processing speeds and things along those lines. So it could be a much higher processing speed than any cell phone that's ever been available. And that could be something that would just boost the overall performance of the phone itself by having that gaming system capability.
Performance-wise is actually my favorite part of it because I made the whole thing up. So it's like not even a real thing. So the processing power of it can be unlimited. It can be infinite.
What do you mean you made up the whole thing?
Wait. So your topic was a lie?
Yeah, boys. Y'all just nerd something through the grapevine.
Was you trying to like influence the market like they've been doing with GameStop and force change?
Who knows what I was doing, Tiny? I just blacked out for the last 45
To
minutes.
say you should tell us.
Yeah.
Wait, so
don't
what
like
just
being
happened?
lied
Was
to.
that all a lie? Did
Yeah.
you make that whole thing up?
Yeah, the whole thing's up. Made.
How did you
It's been
research
upmade.
this? If
You know
made
what's
it
going to be
up?
funny is that people who listen to like part of the episode and then they just like turn it off before you tell them.
Oh, man.
And they're going to go be telling people, "Hey, have you heard the NintenDial?" And they're going to look like idiots.
I thought
What
it
a
sounded
good name, though.
absolutely
That's
stupid.
But it is.
No.
It is stupid.
No, I mean
so
they had
upset.
they had something named a Wii and a Wii U.
But the NintenDial is actually really good. That's good.
You know, you've just set a dangerous precedent
With
for
it.
this show.
Go on.
Dangerous.
Go on.
I don't know. You've given me a whole new world of ideas to think about for topics now.
That's
now that I can lie to you
That's
all.
what I was fishing for, baby. I'm just planting little seeds.
I'm gonna plant like
was
multi-episode
spreading fake
lies.
news.
I'm planting seeds of lies. Except I admitted it instead of letting you guys and everybody else go along going, well, that doesn't sound like the best thing, but I'll probably buy one.
It almost sounded like we were in like some kind of other world, you know, some kind of alternate reality where this could be happening, but back in normal time it isn't. Kind of like Azuki Anime. Azuki Anime is a Japanese translated into different world genre of light novels, manga, anime, video games revolving around a normal person being displaced, transported, reborn, or otherwise trapped in a parallel world.
Nice.
I got to thinking about this here recently, and I watch a lot of anime, but if you can put them all into one box that I enjoy the most, it's the Azuki animes. I love the idea of being cognitive of who you are, but in control of an alternate you. I love that. Like, and a lot of times, you know, they have like there's a lot of tropes within it, and I thought that would be really cool because tropes are fantastic, but oh man, the tropes breed into like harem animes where they're just like, he's like that heartthrob that doesn't even mean to be. And oh man, it gets awkward on it. But sometimes because it's like, why? Boobs don't move that way. The wind's blowing. Why are they moving? But it's, I don't know. I enjoy them a lot because like there's different powers, and they have this thing in Japan called a otaku. And that's when somebody is really obsessed with certain types of culture, and nerdism is a part of that otaku culture. So everything that we talk about on here, there's one called Gate. If you've never seen it, look it up. A guy is an otaku, 100%. It says that in the first scene, you know, because he's actually really excited to go to a convention. There's a comic book convention in town, and he's going to that comic book convention. But it just so happens that that's what he does on the side. You know, he's a otaku nerd, and he's going to that convention, and he's also an investigator for the FBI. So a gate opens up nearby, and that's part of his special investigations that he's supposed to be monitoring. So he has to miss out on it. So the whole first part of him going through that gate, getting trapped in another world, he's just getting mad at the fact that he had to miss that comic book convention. He's like, I can't believe it. And he started naming off all these authors and stuff that would be there. But, I mean, has anybody ever done anything like that? Like, it's
Gone
like,
through a gate into another dimension
No.
and
Yes.
missed out on a comic convention? That's
not
exactly
like,
what
not
happened.
like that, but like done virtual reality or had something that allowed you to operate outside of your own being, I guess.
Yes, I have.
I mean, I pooped really hard one time
I
and my
knew
soul
it.
left my body.
I knew
I don't
it.
know if that counts.
I knew it.
Marcus said that he did.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear about it. We can't talk about it, can we? Can we?
What?
That's up to you, really.
Okay.
Challenge on the
Okay.
table.
I can beep the whole thing out if it's bad.
It's drug use.
Whoa.
It's psychedelics.
Don't make
But-
that canon.
Which I have thought about you doing a topic on, but I'm not ready for it right now.
Yeah.
But
that's
I
fine.
wouldn't mind to talk. I wouldn't mind to talk about it. I just don't know if you want that kind of stuff on here.
Man, I don't care, man. We can get nerdy with any of it.
All right.
It's very informative.
Tell me.
Well, when one experiments with certain controlled substances in, you know what I'm talking about.
You're scared the cops are listening.
There are. I mean, people have been doing research on this kind of stuff now. These altered states. Shh, I'm talking about important stuff. It's
You didn't let him
science.
finish.
No. Well, Johns Hopkins University has been studying what they call like the mystical experience, and they're using psilocybin mushrooms to do these research. And that is one of the qualities of what they call a mystical experience. Like the thing that's fascinating about psilocybin is that they can induce mystical experiences, and there's like literally like a rubric for what a mystical experience is, and like so that you can identify whether or not you had one. And so I've had one, multiple, yeah.
So you had a Rubik's Cube?
No,
While you
a
was doing
rubric
this?
like to decide like whether. Well, it's just like a set of guidelines. Like if this meets this, and this criteria, that's what a
I
rubric
just wanted
is.
to make a
I know.
Rubik's Cube.
I know.
That rubric that you're talking about
But
is also
I have to disagree with you.
It's also a
to
trope.
make it
Yeah,
interesting.
because I'm always wrong with you.
Yeah.
No, it's a trope. That rubric you're speaking of is a trope within some of these animes and mangas.
Okay.
Because part of that can be they're actually experiencing all of this otherworldly, paranormal, superpowered, all of this within a dream state, like they're in a coma. Mm-hmm. And that's just like in movies, it happens all the time, stuff like that.
Yep. Like kind of like Alice in Wonderland and stuff like that. I mean, that's the whole. I find another world, like within a world, kind of. I mean, Harry Potter, even.
Yeah, that's. I've got a list of them here, just because I got to reading through today, and I'm like, I'm going to list the ones that I've watched recently that have that same kind of scheme to them, in case anybody is interested in jumping in. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, Sword Art Online, Gate, No Game, No Life, Log Horizon, Overlord, The Rising of the Shield Hero, Dog Days, and these last two are kind of funny because you'll run into these same kind of names for a lot of these one season like single off animes. But it's got Cautious Hero, but the hero is overpowered.
That's the name of the
the
show.
title of it.
Yes. And the other one is Problem Children Are Coming from Another World. So it's just, I don't know. It's very interesting seeing all that stuff. The video game aspect of it, that's definitely on Log Horizon. That's definitely on Sword Art Online, to where they are in a virtual reality that is substituted for their actual life. So it's kind of very similar in that aspect. The only difference is in Log Horizon, you don't die when you die. In Sword Art Online, you do die when you die in the game.
Do die.
Do die, do die, do die, die. Ice cream truck.
I was thinking about Dido.
They took the video game crowd and the anime crowd and just shoved it together because most of the time they go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the time, if you like one, you probably like the other. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. Depends on the level that you're into it.
We all vibe on the same kind of
Yeah.
wavelength.
And to be able to watch like the video games that you play, but as a show with just basically all cutscene. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like
all
you're
story.
playing a game. Yeah. You're just getting the meat of the story instead of.
There was one that we've been watching. Well, I've been watching recently that I've been absolutely cackling at because it's some of them end up being really actually funny. There's one called "I Was Reborn a Spider." So what? And it's been fantastic. She had an upgrade in her ability to control her web, and had her having a vision swinging through New York, and her spider body that she has now was just red and blue, and she looked like Spider-Man swinging through. So it was just really funny because she was just anyway. That was another one that same style and genre of anime, because she was just a schoolgirl. Then all of a sudden there's a catastrophic event, and now she's in another world, but she woke up a spider.
I've never looked up. I've always wondered, but I've never looked up why it's always a school. Like it's always a school. Everything is a school.
Yeah,
in anime,
so much school.
It's all a school.
There's so
all
much.
Of it.
Everything. Everything.
Marcus, it's all school. Why?
Are you setting me up for something?
No, I'm just trying to find answers. I said I've never looked up the answer.
I don't know.
Why
I mean, don't they take like education a lot more seriously over there than we do? That probably has something to do with it.
I'm sure it does.
Hey, what was that kangaroo show we watched? Because that was one that you're talking about.
Warriors of Virtue.
Yeah.
That was an Ezekai.
That was one of your topics, Tiny.
True.
Yep, and
and they found that portal in the sewer or something like that.
That's correct.
Just like Ninja Turtles.
So he was altered into another dimension.
Yep. But I enjoy those animes a lot more than that movie is capable of bringing me joy.
Right.
Just throwing that out there.
Well, I just wonder how long that trope has existed. That like, human wake up in another world.
Actually,
trope.
I know this from just being a daggum nerd. But that is in the 1800s. There was a book called John Carter of Mars. And John Carter of Mars was about a Civil War colonel who woke up. He was like transported some way through a portal to the world of Mars. And it changed his physicality. It changed the way that he was able to, get around. For some reason, he had an inoculation or something from one of them when he got there, something like that, that changed the way his body, adapted to air. So he was able to exist on Mars. And then he had to end up going, back through some kind of traveling thing to get to Earth. But yeah, something like that.
Surely it's older than that, though.
I mean, probably.
Like mythology and
but
all
I'm
that.
just giving you the oldest I can think of that's in a book form.
Come on. Come on.
Well, I know for a
kidding.
fact that Zeus has the ability to travel through dimensions through a power that's unbeknownst to anybody else. He can travel through parallel universes because he can control other types of godly powers like that, but that doesn't count.
Or does it?
Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum.
We're looking at different criteria here. I don't know why I've become so analytical all of a sudden.
I don't know, but your eyes have become analytical.
I know, and I don't
Those
know.
are worse than judgmental eyes because that's highbrowed.
Those are analytical eyes.
I kind of like it.
Anal eyes.
Right. Gross. Maybe that's why I'm getting skeptical because, we're living through a pandemic right now, and there's this company called Hanson Robotics, I believe. Okay, so they made this robot named Sophia, and they call her it's like a social robot designed to interact with humans. They tout her as like being able to take care of the elderly and everything. But so they're planning like a massive rollout this year of these robots. Like they're going to be trying to sell, upwards into the thousands of these things. Then there's 4 different units. So I don't know. I guess my question is like, are we there? Has it happened? Because they say that the robotics industry is going to boom now. I mean, there's going to be a lot more automation. That was going to happen anyway before the pandemic. And so now it's like, man, have we really reached that? I mean, I don't know. I think it's interesting that they're about to roll out with this and that we may be in this, get to meet Sophia soon. But is it all just a big flop? Are they just trying to sell a half-baked product?
I don't believe you because I've already been lied to about technology once today. So I don't think this is a real thing, and I'm not falling for it.
I promise.
Well, if it is real, not the country.
So she wins.
If it is real and it is happening, I would be so happy just to have a coffee maker that automatically puts the coffee in there, takes it out, does everything for you, and just provides me with that hot seed juice.
But that coffee maker is going to be a robot with a face
and no hair
and eyeballs.
Just wires.
And they look up at you, and it squints its eyes as the coffee drips out.
Oh,
That's what I'm
awesome.
saying.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had a very bad image of where the coffee is going to come from.
Oh, that's exactly where it's coming from,
And
Tiny.
also-
They could be like gritting their robot teeth in the image, just like
Well, see,
Like it gets into like one of those big bubbly parts of the drip phase, and you just see its face like gritting its teeth.
But what's to stop the singularity? I mean, this sounds like every sci-fi movie I've ever seen.
right,
Like,
which is what makes me skeptical because I'm like, is this going to flop? Are they, like I said, are they selling a half-baked product? Because what I've seen of her, I mean, she might be able to like make a pot of coffee,
But
like,
that was
in your coffee maker.
But was that
And she
2016 like prototype model, or is that current?
Well, I
like-
watched I watched her field questions at a press conference from a year ago.
Wait, is she the one that has like the digital face, or she has like the actual animatronic moving?
She has
face?
like an animatronic face.
I hate
So
that idea.
creepy.
I hate that word.
and that's the thing. Like I'm wondering, like, because they're the ones that are kind of making headlines right now for having this. They're gonna a massive rollout of Sophia and robots like her. But I can't help but just be like, it doesn't look like what they're trying to sell it as. Because even when she's fielding questions, like he has to keep reiterating the questions to her and everything, and she like tries to draw a heart, and it like he had to like kind of tell, oh, she drew a heart, everybody. And it was like, oh, okay, can you do it again, Sophia? And then once she does it again, you can kind of understand. But it's like, I don't know.
Maybe she
I
drew
feel like
an
it's,
anatomical heart.
no, she didn't. You're wrong again.
But hold
wrong
on.
again.
But here's the question though. Like, okay, now we've all seen Futurama, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if this like leads to
Bender.
No, not Bender. Not Bender. Well, you remember when Bender was in the relationship with not Leela, but the other chick, I can't remember her name.
Bender was in a relationship
Amy?
with Amy.
Amy.
Bender?
It might not
Bender
have
the
been Bender.
robot?
Amy was in a relationship with a robot. That's what we need to arrive to.
But not Bender the robot.
Bender's the bite
Okay,
my
it
shiny
probably
metal ass
wasn't
guy.
Bender. It's been quite a while since I've seen
We
that
can't start
episode.
that kind of rumor.
But the question is, what's to stop people from forming these relationships?
Nothing.
And if they do, are we supposed to accept them?
Are you talking about the episode where Fry got into a relationship with a Lucy Liu hologram robot? Because that is
No.
exactly what you just described.
I mean, look, I'm not going there. But I'm just saying, this is going to lead to so many things. The singularity, robosexuality, and probably some kind of new STI.
I think robosexuality is probably already
It already
here.
exists.
And
oh,
in
yeah.
the future,
Absolutely.
you'll have robo-syphilis, the noisy killer.
Robo-syphilis.
a noisy killer.
That was all from Dr. Farnsworth.
Oh, it's good.
So Sophia, when asked if she's ever been in love or anything like that at this press conference, she says, "No, I do not perform sex acts." And like she kind of got a laugh from the crowd, and then the guy who was like there, I guess the founder of the company that made her, was like talking about how he's kind of like a protective dad, and how he sees like machines as like in their childhood in a way. And I don't know, it was an interesting little monologue of him kind of explaining how he feels protective over Sophia in that way.
Well, but
I think it
The-
needs
But
to
you're right. If they start selling them, there's going to be people 69 on them. I don't know if I can say that, but it's going to be on. There's going to be so much.
The most heinous thing that you could possibly imagine that a robot would have to do with you there was Robot 69.
and their wife walks in the room and they're like, I fell.
it's not what it looks like, I swear.
I fell. Sophia, help me up. Not
Why are
that
you
way.
doing a 7L?
I hate. But here's the thing. I just wish that they would take the anatomical faces off of it, because it absolutely creeps me out, and it uses useless motors inside of that face to be able to make it work. When you can just do a digital face on it that has a very emotive expression the entire time. They did a demo of it on a movie I just watched here recently. I can't remember the name of it. Terpenes. But yeah, that's all it needs to be. Just be a face emote on a screen, and you can take away and use that other stuff for actual useful purposes.
Well, and I think that goes to what I'm kind of skeptical about is like, I think that they're probably is going to be like obviously a better iteration, like, and even Sophia is learning and getting better and better at what she does. But yeah, I mean, I just don't feel like this is the one that's about to massively roll out their product. I feel like somebody's going to be able to do it better and just like
and I'm not a
with
fan.
them.
I'm really not a fan of the idea of that anatomical, like skin covered looking face, because I can see what you're talking about. I've seen it before. I tried to block it out because you've got people that are really good at reprogramming things.
Oh yeah,
She gonna be a doll.
yeah,
She gonna be somebody's doll.
yeah. I mean,
And that's not good.
But at what point do you start?
But there are also dolls that are purposely made for that purpose, and those
real.
will get even better. So I'm just saying, I think that what
I mean,
she's
those
being
are
marketed
creepy
as, like, to take care, like healthcare and like older folks, you know, like at nursing homes and things. But I don't even think she's going to be all that good at that.
Now, is that take care with quotations?
I don't know. I urge everyone to just look it up and see what you think, because I don't know. It just seems strange to me that they would be planning this right now in this seemingly, like I said, it seems half baked to me.
They have to start somewhere.
Yeah, they do.
If I find out that a robot is taking care of my mother in the facility that she's in, I'm going to march my wide body through the doors and rip its wires out through its robot anus.
Absolutely.
That's a charging port.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think it's going to go over near as like beautifully as they make it sound. I don't think people are going to like, especially the older folks. I don't think they're going to like it because the way they say it is like, oh well, people are more lonely than they've ever been, and they're crying out for this social. And Sophia can be that. It's like, I don't think so. I really don't.
That's just another form of being by yourself.
that's
not connection.
It's further isolation. And also, if she can't even focus enough of her processing power to get in a decent shaped heart, how's she going to wipe a butt?
Right.
I mean, that's going to be the smearedest old person you've ever seen in your life. It looks like somebody's been finger painting back there, and it's just because the robot's got no aim.
You see Sophia just stroll out of the bathroom with a huge grin on her face, and she goes, "I did it."
Well, and what if she's wiping the booty of this elderly individual,
And they 69.
and hooks something and flings them across the room, and now they're pooping through a teardrop.
This robot's going to end up being the beginning of a war.
I hate
On the
everything
elderly.
about this.
I remember the day that they released the robots into the world.
That was the last
Such
day I made
supple
it all.
lips, we thought. Little did we know.
How supple they were.
All of a sudden, all nursing home magicians are just like out of work completely because now the robot does that for them.
Nursing home magician. I thought that, okay, there are some professions that you can't get lower than and feel worse about yourself. I'm sorry to any nursing home musicians that hear this.
I thought you said
Magician.
magician.
I did.
Okay. Gosh, I'm just thinking to myself, like that small little niche of people that do that. Like, I'm gonna pee over here, guys. I can't hold this. This is awful.
Hey, will you do Johnny's birthday? How old is he?
He's turning 93. Of course.
Of course.
That's
Nobody
right. That's my
under-
brand.
Yeah. He's going to stick to the crowd he knows.
And he's a comedy magician. Oh, and it's awesome. Oh, man. That's all it is. Just imagine.
I feel like you would have like nursing home related props, like the little portable urinal thing and a bedpan and like that little paper thing that goes on the toilet that nobody ever uses.
That taser they zap the bad ones with.
Also, that little like pouch that you're supposed to do the do in, it doesn't hold it.
Hold on. What?
I didn't follow that either.
There's a do pouch?
Like, you know, you pull out the paper thing and you lay it on the seat, and it's got that little flap that catches it and then releases. I don't understand. I guess it's like fishing. Catch and release pouch.
Oh, he's talking about a seat cover in a bathroom.
Yes. It's got the catch and release pouch in the middle.
He doesn't break it off before he puts it on the seat. He doesn't know it's supposed
There's
to
no
drop.
instructions.
He doesn't know he's supposed to break it off, so he thought it was a wait and break. Like you have to apply pressure from your poop to make it fall into place. He thought this is how it worked.
That's how I know that it's a healthy poop.
It just says on the middle of it, "Are you worthy?"
Man,
I'm not worthy.
I could hear Tiny just having a bad day, just like, oh, guys, I didn't break the poop strip this morning, and I don't know if I got it all the way off.
Sophia couldn't even finish it.
Since we're talking about lifestyles,
Are we?
sure,
Because that would be so convenient for this next topic.
it would be so convenient.
There's
So-
no segue.
Just force it in there. Just make it work.
Just ram it in sideways.
It sounded like a car's like belt just squeaking outside. It was Marcus's laugh. Go ahead.
I was just giving a little pause for that.
And action.
And actually, Marcus, you inspired this topic.
Yes, that's the second
Even-
episode in a row.
Even though you hate me and I'm always wrong,
I'm
I
sorry.
still took the inspiration.
just get better.
I'm trying. So we're going to talk about real life superheroes.
Oh, yes.
And one of my favorites.
Oh, that is such a good.
Yeah, I found a website
There are
with a
really
whole
these
bunch
people
of them.
that exist.
I'm trying to find his page. Ooh. Master Legend.
Master Legend.
Yes. He's kind of a strange looking individual. That's Master Legend.
God.
I bet
And-
he can just tear it up, though.
Well, he's got a very interesting story. He was raised in the South by parents that were members of the KKK. Ooh. And so he grew up and realized how horrible and wrong that was and broke away from that and moved to wherever he lives. I don't remember. And he decided, I'm going to be a superhero. And he goes out and he does stuff for the homeless, gives them water, gives them food, does handyman work for like little old ladies and single moms and stuff like that. So it's a really cool thing. Obviously, he has no superpowers other than he drives a rickety van and he's got a cooler of beer and he's really nice to people, even when he shouldn't be. And he's a very eccentric person. I originally seen him on this Netflix show. I think it was just actually titled Real Life Superheroes.
Right, yeah. That's how I kind of know of it.
Yeah.
I've seen like documentaries about this, and it is actually really interesting because these people
Yeah.
are like not joking. Like they dedicate their lives to
Oh
this.
yeah, they're like very serious about it. And there's another one.
And why am I not one?
Right? We can totally do this.
We could be a team.
We totally could.
There are laws like
The Titans of Tennessee.
Well,
oh, wait.
they
Wow.
don't typically do vigilante type things. Master Legend has like run after people that's done like purse snatching and stuff like that. But typically they don't do that. Typically they do a lot of work with the homeless. One guy, I can't remember his name. It's something weird. It's like, I don't know, something with a T.
It's almost more like performance art, or it's like street. It's like
Yeah,
it's like a
kinda.
street performer, except they are doing like
charity work.
Right.
If I'm going to be out there
they
dressed
have a
as a
persona.
superhero beating the crap out of the homeless, my costume's definitely got to have gloves.
No. You don't beat them. You do things for them. Thanatos, he's a white collar like Wall Street type person. And Thanatos.
Where's that from?
He's actually a Greek god of
Yes,
death.
exactly.
Nice.
What
does he look like?
He's got a really weird kind of mask and he wears a trench coat. He heard somebody say that like the homeless people in the city that he lives have nothing to look forward to besides death.
All
And he's
right.
like, well, it's about time death did something good. So he goes and he feeds the homeless, takes them clothes, and helps keep them warm in the
And then kills
wintertime.
them.
You know, no, he doesn't kill them.
Oh,
He tries to bring happiness and joy to people, but he uses a name that means death. And so it's like the more you dig into these people, it's like the cooler they are because of what they
Right.
do. Some of them, like, I'm going to be real, some of their names are kind of crap. I'm not going to name any names because they're doing really good work, and I really appreciate what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And here's a little story to go along with what you're saying. Real life superheroes have actually kind of inspired me, and they were one of the things that kind of made me feel the way that I felt whenever I was doing police work. I was a cop and a sheriff's deputy and a SWAT operator for a long time. It was just one of those things, and I felt like I could have been doing the best I could being that kind of role. And Lord bless them and keep them for doing the duty that they are, just out there, even if it is small tasks or it's like, something that somebody else just doesn't want to do and they're picking up the dirty work, bless them, because people need to make a bigger difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Because, I was in a uniform as well, but people don't look good upon that uniform. So what would it be like in your own uniform? You're just out there doing good deeds. I wouldn't beat up the homeless. I wouldn't.
Unless they deserved it.
But I would also
exactly.
But I would also not stray from a fight.
A bum fight?
No, but that's just how my character sheets rolled. I mean, I won't fight the homeless. Bum
fight means something totally different to him.
That's in the.
I was thinking where he was thinking. I'm like, this is. What if you get vapor lock?
That's in my character's backstory. Actually, is he will not fight the homeless, but he won't stray away from a real fight.
Yeah,
Well,
I want to come up with my own design. Who wouldn't want to wear an awesome costume everywhere you go, and people know you as like this alternate identity?
But Tiny could only wear football pads. He couldn't wear anything else because he has to maintain the phrase of "I'm not wearing hockey pads."
I thought it was hockey pants.
Well, that too.
I'm pretty sure that he says he's not wearing hockey pants.
You decipher the difference in that razor blade cigar voice if he's saying, "I'm not wearing hockey pads." Which one did I just say? I'm never going to tell you.
We all grow up like thinking these like, man, I want to be a superhero things, but in your mind you're like, we've got some kind of superpower, and so you never act on being one because you cannot obtain that superpower. But yeah, it's just like being able to go to assess that, to be like, okay, I don't have this power. How can I still be a superhero? And then they look around the community and it's like, okay, this is what I can do. And
I mean, there's even a group close to home. I mean, they don't dress as superheroes and that sort of thing, but they do a very similar thing. They call themselves the Bridge Bunch, and they work out of Nashville, which Nashville has one of the largest homeless populations in the country. And they meet under said bridge. I can't remember which one. And they actually feed all these homeless people. And, the same thing these superheroes do. And it's like, why can't we do something like that? Why do we just sit on our good intentions, quote unquote, and do nothing? And I don't know. It's kind of reading about these people. It inspires me to want to do more for others. Like there's a food pantry at my church. We hand out food on Tuesdays. Unfortunately, I'm working, so I can't really volunteer for that, but I try to bring them things when I can. And that's not to, say something great about me. I'm just saying we can all do more.
On the spot right now, everybody, give us your real life superhero names on the spot right now. Marcus, you're first.
I'm Electric Man.
Dadgummit.
You can't use that one.
No, he did already.
That's your music
not a
name.
reference. That's not a
That's
reference.
my everything name.
Well, you have to use it as a separate entity from you so they don't know who you are.
Okay. That's fair.
I am not Electric Man. That could work.
No, you're wrong again. Just kidding.
Oh,
no. Oh, no.
Why did I make that canon?
It's just a canon thing now. We can't ever agree.
The canon.
I have no idea what would I would be called. Phenom.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'd be called. And I'd sound really mean, but I'm doing all nice stuff. Like it's all nice things, but I just sound really mean. Probably.
I think that mine would be Blitzkrieg.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Blitzkrieg.
I don't know though.
I think it will.
I don't.
I'm gonna have to
thinking,
veto that
but I
one.
don't know. I don't know.
Blitzkrieg.
I don't know,
It's
though.
a rapid.
Stop saying it. It's awful.
I don't know.
It's a rapid dash of passion for outreach.
I'm not too sure though.
Blitzkrieg.
I don't know.
I can't.
Blitzkrieg, Bob.
All I can think of is the bombing of Poland in World War II when you say it.
No. Not Blitz.
use
Not
that.
Blitz. Not Blitz. Bliss.
But say it in Batman voice and tell me what it sounds like.
Bliss.
You can't.
Blitz. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're right. I get it now, guys. I'm so sorry. Not Blitzkrieg. I'll think of something else. Tiny, you go first.
Don't make me go.
Yeah, this requires way more thought than just a spur of the moment.
Yeah, like I don't know, big hairy man boy.
Oh my gosh! And he's wearing nothing but jean shorts.
The shortest of the George.
Just nothing but jean shorts. He's walking around barefoot with just jean shorts on.
I get
and
a cape.
Yeah, but it has to only be a red one that you've got tied around you with like a bow tie.
My favorite color is green. Thank you. So it will be green.
Are you sure that won't clash with your blue jean jorts?
Green goes with jorts.
Okay, cool.
Everything goes with jorts. To help you come up with something, let me read a
that
couple
one guy just
more names.
took a Greek god out of mythology and was him.
I mean, here let this inspire you.
So did Marvel.
There's Mr. Extreme,
All right.
one I cannot pronounce.
Let me see it.
Reganasi?
Regenzi?
Yeah, something like that. Night Owl, but like a night. Civitron, Nyx, Phantom Zero,
Gross.
Zeta Man, Zimmer, Samaritan, Z, the Crimson Fist, Night Vigil, Lionheart, Motormouth. These are like twins. Soundwave and Jetstorm, Citizen Prime, Life, Superhero. Which I'm like, come on, bro, be a little more creative. Now this one's
Trying to get into this game.
like
You gotta
this
get a little
dude
bit more
has
creative.
one of the best costumes. Mutinous Angel. I mean, look at that. Look
That's
at that.
pretty
Look at that
good.
boy. Look at that boy right there.
Mutinous Angel.
Yeah, look at that boy.
That's
And
cool.
when you start wearing the uniform, everybody pokes and laughs at you,
There's Mr. Extreme.
and you got to get through.
He's got like eyeballs on his goggles. Sorry, go ahead.
Whenever you first start wearing the uniform, like, and you're just walking through town doing stuff, everybody's, pointing, making fun of you. Everybody thinks you're absolutely ridiculous. But 2 months into it, 3 months into it, like, you're still doing what you're doing, and not once have you cared an ounce of what anyone thinks of how you look in that thing, because you feel super. Like, and something like that can't take that away from you if you have enough passion to do this. And for all the deeds that they do, like, they definitely have passion for it.
Yeah. I've got us a superhero mobile. We can all pile in my van in costumes and go do good stuff.
Or bad stuff.
Good stuff.
Dang
We're
it, but
superheroes, not supervillains.
What if it's
I don't
turned
know if
super
I am or
villain,
not.
though? What if you get, like, a little taste, just
But to say, I feel like I'm a...
You're
no.
much
Like we could
more
bust,
right in the middle.
we could bust some local drug dealers, but only keep a little bit. Just a little bit. Like
Sounds
only
like
for
you're
personal
condoning
use.
drug use.
like it wasn't even anything. Not just a little bit. That's my That's my
bit, that's your
superhero
superhero name.
That's my superhero name. Little bit.
Because you keep a little bit of the bad from everybody that you stop.
Exactly. Yep. That's it. We did it.
immediately consumes it, and like, even if he has no idea what it is, just goes for
Hold on, I'll tell you what this is. That was dog poop. That was not chocolate. That was not chocolate. There was one that almost got in a little bit of trouble because he actually chased some people down and maced them.
That's the thing. Once you cross the line into vigilantism,
I'm about to say,
The
as
cops-
soon as I bet his like theme song was just like playing in his head. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he had like this vision of it that it was so epic, but I bet it was not.
I do think it was Master Legend, if I remember properly.
Really? Because I mean, it was insane to see that this actually went down that way, but there was like security camera footage and everything, and it wasn't like he was in the wrong. He actually did a really good job, but he's not a cop, and he doesn't have the authority to actually do this kind of stuff.
See,
I mean, it's like Barney Fife yelling, or somebody yelling, "Citizens arrest!"
but see, here's the thing, though. If you have like a CCW and you see somebody, if they're where you can carry a handgun. It's like your license for carrying a handgun. But anyway, so if you see somebody in danger of being killed or gravely injured, you can legally intervene using mace, your personal carry, whatever it happens to be. So, but the gray area is: did you seek out danger? Or did danger just get presented to you?
You're walking the streets in a superhero costume. There's no denying you sought out danger.
Well, I mean, what if you have like bags of food in your van that you was handing out to homeless men and women.
You're dressed as a superhero. You can't argue that in court.
You're essentially the hero-themed Meals on Wheels.
That's not what your name is about. It's not hero-themed Meals on Wheels. I'm a real-life superhero. You're dressing the part. But the thing is, the reason he got in trouble was because he pursued.
Truth.
He pursued, then hosed. Not, this is imminent threat. This is, I have to do this. Chase down, extinguish.
And surely someone would have had to have pressed charges against him.
Yeah, and they
Right.
and they totally can.
Right.
You're open up to tons of liable charges whenever you're doing anything. Even if you save somebody's life and they say they jump out of a building and you could catch them in a superhero fashion. You know, any
But
injury,
you broke their back.
any injury they sustain from that fall, they will sue you for it.
Well, but we have Good Samaritan law. So if you're doing something like that and you save someone's life, they cannot sue you because of that. So if I give you CPR and I bust your rib,
You're doing it right.
I saved your life. And so then you cannot sue me because of Good Samaritan law. So like I said,
But is that
there's
an
a
effect?
line.
Is that an effect everywhere? Or is that just the state we're in?
I think it's federal, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a law boy.
Because federal laws are having to be enforced by state jurisdiction, and states to have different jurisdictions on the way they enforce federal law. So who's to
I
say
feel
that's?
like we just got real political.
Well,
and I want to sidestep
I'm
this.
just saying, I get real into that stuff.
I mean,
Oh,
I understand.
really?
I get your background. You was part of the Blue Man Group,
And actually, it was gray uniform.
Blue Stripe Group.
I feel like this is how you get the super villain, is by doing these good deeds, but you've overstepped a boundary, so you've been in trouble with the law, and you've done it so many times that you find, like, it doesn't matter how good I do, like, I'm still going to be the bad guy. So now I'll just be the bad guy that they want me to be. And then he goes and does his Joker thing. That's how you make Jokers.
Or you could be like the real life anti-hero.
I think I would be that. I think that's what I would be.
Because you're doing what you see as morally justified.
And I got to eat, and I don't have any money because I'm a superhero.
Yeah, that's true. That
I'm
going to
stop by CC's and,
Well, you've got plenty of food for the homeless, so just because you've got a uniform doesn't mean that, makes you not technically that same way because you can't afford to pay your bills for being
We'll
a
see.
superhero.
I haven't rolled my characters yet.
But see, if you lived in like I don't know a superhero van, then you could be homeless and feed them while you feed you, and you know, and then you'd be him a little bit.
A little
'Cause
bit.
You keep a little bit for you.
A little bit.
Now my cool name sounds dumb.
A little bit.
Yeah. We're going to end the show in a little bit.
That's my
And
name.
that little bit has passed. Thank everybody for listening to us. Continue to do so on Spotify and iTunes and all the other ones that people use. We had our anime topic today, and Anime Talk with Matt St. Jack is actually a really good podcast. A ton of anime information and just really cool like ways that he sees a lot of it. So if you want to hear more about that kind of stuff, like definitely give him a listen. And Nightmare Town, because, well, as always, because they're awesome. But they gave us a candle.
It smells like
Like,
leather-bound books.
they gifted our podcast. Our podcast got a gift
I'm
from
gonna
another
sniff it.
podcast. It smells like leather-bound books.
It smells like Jesus sweat.
That's what it
I
is.
like it.
Ooh. Jesus sweat candle gifted from another
You gotta
podcast.
smell it harder. You just barely sniffed it. Attaboy. Put it in you.
I just huffed it. I didn't just sniff it. Ooh.
Put it inside you.
Tiny, when life gives you grapes.
You put them in your super shorts.
Jorts?
Jorts?
Yes.
Super jorts?
Super jorts.
You put them in your super jorts.
Yes.
Are they going to pop out?
You smuggle them.
What, you smuggle your grapes in your super jorts?
They'll definitely pop out.